Hello, I'm Frost, and welcome to my sci-fi gaming news for June 2020. So this June is not like other Junes, as there's no E3 this time, but we will be getting online announcements, and I will be mentioning a few of these in the news. But first, let's cover some stuff that happened in May. Deep Rock Galactic. Now, this one I completely passed me by. I don't know how. I mean, it's got space dwarves. It's a 1 to 4 player first person shooter co-op. And you fight aliens and mine rocks on a planet. I mean, it sounds awesome. And, it looks like fast paced and very amusing. Now, I've not played it. It was officially released on 13th of May, but I believe it was out on early access before then. So if you've tried Deep Rock Galactic, please tell me about it. I'm going to have to try this one. This one was a real surprise. Then another piece of news is just an announcement really of a patch for XCOM Chimera Squad. It had a major patch on the 21st of May. And the reason why I mention this is because it did have some quite bad crashes that I experienced. I played the game quite a lot and it was very frustrating, and these seem to be fixed after this patch. And then finally, in my last update, I mentioned Drox Operative 2. It was supposed to release by the end of this month, and today, as I'm filming this, it's the 31st of May. It's still not there, but hopefully it will be released soon. We do now have a trailer, and it aims to be, based on the original Drox Operative, it aims to be a RPG with a bit of real-time strategy. So interesting, and I am keeping my eyes out for it, and hopefully the early access will be a good one, and I can report back on it. So now we're going to move to announcements. Now the big one, this is the big elephant in the room, is 11th of June, Night City Wire. This will be a Cyberpunk 2077 announcement. Now we assume we're going to see some kind of gameplay, that the game is pretty much ready to go, and we're going to get a really good idea of what's coming on in September. And everyone's hyped about it. I have to mention it, of course. We're all going to upgrade our graphics cards, and so there we go, 11th of June. Be sure to be there. If not, I'm sure everyone's going to be reporting on it. And then Everspace 2, which is still in development and is supposed to be like, it was originally a first-person shooter, and they're kind of trying to sort of build it out a lot more. They're actually doing an announcement on the 6th of June on the PC Gamers Show, and they're demonstrating their Planetary trailer. So the idea is that you'll be able to have combats on planets, not just in space. So that would be interesting. Other announcements, Kerbal Space Program, we have an expansion called Horizons 1. That is coming on the 1st of July. And what's interesting about it is that it actually gives you 2 campaigns or 2 missions that are actually real missions. So the first one is Bepi Colombo, which was a joint mission between ESA, the European Space Agency, and JAXA, the Japanese Space Agency. It launched on October 2018, and the aim is to basically send a satellite down to Mercury for 2025. And you get to try that out for yourself in this expansion, KSP Horizons. The other one is the Rosetta mission, which is a NASA mission, which was originally launched in July 2004 to Comet 67P Churyumov. And to use their own terms, it hard landed there in September 2016, which I think is a very flash way of saying it crashed. But I think they meant to crash it on purpose, so that qualifies as a hard landing. And as well as this, you get a bit of kit. So you will get an Ariane 5 rocket. You will get ESA spacesuits for your Kerbals, which is just brilliant. And some new experiments. So there you go. So KSP is good. That's still progressing. We'll come on to KSP 2 a little bit later, but the original KSP, at least we've got some expansions there. Now, it's not really sci-fi, although it does take place on an alien planet, and it's quite a big deal. Factorio is now actually going to be released 1.0. It's actually going to get its proper official release. It's been in early access for years. If you've played Factorio, you'll know it is extremely addictive. Before you know it, it's 5 o'clock in the morning and you just need to build one more thing and then everything will be fine. One more conveyor belt and it'll all be fixed, and it always seems to go on and on. And they're actually releasing that 5 weeks early. They were aware that Cyberpunk's releasing in September. So rather than release at the same time or later, they've managed to push it forward, and apparently that's not going to affect the quality of the release. So good news for Factorio. Then we also now have a release date for Eve Echoes that was announced on their live stream recently. and that's releasing 20th of August. Yeah, Eve Echoes being the mobile game set in the Eve universe. Then what we're going to do is we're going to cover something called new availability rather than new releases. These are existing games that are now coming out on different platforms. No Man's Sky, first of all, is going to be on Xbox Game Pass in June. We don't have an exact date in June at the moment, but be on the lookout for that. So you can play No Man's Sky for free if you have a Game Pass, either on your Xbox One or on PC Windows. Then we have The Outer Worlds, which is an amazing RPG game. It came out at the end of 2019. It's brilliantly done, beautiful graphics, really good storylines, really good characters in it. That is now coming to Switch on the 5th of June. And then Satisfactory, another world-building game set on an alien planet, but it's got its own very different feel to Factorio. It's much more 3D. That has now officially been announced that it's releasing on Steam on the 8th of June. It was originally only an Epic Game Store release, which kind of upset a lot of people. And the Steam release has been a long time coming, but it's now been announced 8th of June. You'll be able to get Satisfactory through Steam. And then Battlestar Galactica Deadlock is going to be available for the PS4 and the Xbox. It's coming to consoles on the 9th of June. And whilst I'm there, I'm going to say thank you to Slytherin Software. They actually sent me a key to Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, and I have told them I will be playing it as soon as I can. And hopefully I'll be able to play it before the 9th of June and release a video. I'm not sure I can do that, but I will give it a go. But thank you again, Slytherin, for the key. And then now we come on to new releases. So the first one is an expansion, and that is Elite Dangerous. The Fleet Carrier update is now being announced as releasing on the 9th of June. And it had a patchy beta, not because the mechanics didn't work, just because the pricing was way off on the carriers and it created a bit of an uproar. They then fixed that. They added more features to the carriers. And if you go to Obsidian Art, you'll be able to, Obsidian Ant, you'll be able to find out all about the Elite Dangerous Fleet Carriers. But the big release for June in terms of sci-fi games is Disintegration. Now, Disintegration is a pretty big budget game. It's going to be a first-person shooter where you're on this grav bike, coupled with real-time strategy, as you have these command units that you have to in your group that you have to sort of organize and play with, as well as doing the first-person shooter. Looks very pretty, looks very exciting, looks like there's lots of action involved in it, and I will be getting Disintegration, and I may even just stream it on Twitch. So I normally stream different games on a Wednesday night, and then I do my Planetfall on the Saturdays. And then finally, we come on to delays, and unfortunately, Kerbal Space Program 2, it was originally supposed to be out April 2020 or March 2020 of this year. Then it got put back to as far back as April or end of March 2021, and now it's been announced that it's been pushed back again to fall 2021, so autumn 2021, which is a long way away. That's a year and 3 months away. So we're going to stick with Kerbal Space Program 1 and be glad we got the expansions. And it's going to be one of those where we're just going to have to hopefully hope that the delays are worth it and that we'll get a really good Kerbal from that. And then finally, other news, just a little snippet I came across on Twitter. The CEO of Space Engineers, of Keen, has done some home improvements. I think it's his home. I don't think it's their office. As you can see, he's started putting up some rails around his staircase that are based on Space Engineer panels, and it looks really good. That's a really nice touch. So yeah, that brought a smile to my face. And that pretty much wraps it up so far for June. I'll obviously be back mid-June with some more news, but for the time being, hopefully that will keep you occupied. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give me a like if you did. You can dislike too, that's okay. And please subscribe if you want to be notified of my regular releases, and hit the bell icon as well, because otherwise you won't know about them. And that wraps it up for today. Thank you for watching. Until the next one. Bye.